So in today's video, I want to walk you through my process on how I'm earning a 136% APR, which by the way, on roughly $19,500 of capital is 75 bucks a day or $2,200 per month basically. It's over 10% a month, right? And I'm doing that while the market is kind of retracing. I know the market's up like 1% today, but when we zoom out and we look at the past month or so for Bitcoin, it's pretty harsh, right? We've been from roughly $107,000 all the way down to $96,000. And at previous points, we are near $93,000 and we are even lower than that. So it's just important to keep in mind that the market is going to see retracements like we're currently seeing. But there is one specific metric that we always focus on during these terms and one specific thing that we do. And the thing that I want to bring up first is a lot of us here today are cryptocurrency holders native, right? We started by holding cryptocurrency assets. Now we are investing into DeFi and we are earning passive income on our assets. That's good. But what a lot of us fail to realize is if we've had a position open since, let's just say February 4th over here, well, it's been 15 days or 2 weeks or so about, right? And ultimately, if we see a loss of $1,200 right here, we're not actually at a loss of $1,200 because we've been running multiple positions, right? Maybe we've been holding those assets for a period of time. And this is somewhat unrealized until you actually exit the strategy. We might exit positions like this one, finalize a loss right here of say $630 in this desync position. But at the same time, if we go and enter into a brand new desync position at the same exact time, it's pretty much unrealized because we're entering into a brand new position. That's what we have to look at. So the metric that we're looking at in times like these retracements, is not our overall profit loss. Because guys, we are already holding crypto, and chances are if we weren't in the liquidity pools, we'd be holding our crypto up, down, up, down, up, down. So why are we trying to be different with our DeFi portfolios is my question that I asked to you. What we pay attention to is how we perform compared to holding the market. And this has been a little bit brutal, right? Ethereum has been very, very volatile recently. If we look at the past 7 days alone, it's jumped all the way from a bottom price of 26.14. Before it was at a price of 28.19. So again, you could see the volatility here, and that volatility creates fees. And what I also want to pay attention to is some of the assets that you can pair with Ethereum. Like Ondo is one of the ones that I'm in. If we look at 7 days, you can see that Ondo has just bled over the past 7 days. It's went from $1.40 to $1.20, and at a bottom, it was at roughly $1.14 or so, basically. So the strategy is to benchmark not against dollar in, dollar out, not against how much we entered into this specific position versus how much we exited. Because truth is, not all your positions are going to be at an overall profit. They're going to be at a profit versus hodl, maybe a loss versus hodl, but some might be at a profit, some might be at a loss, and we just have to accept that. And the reason why is because while we are closing out those positions over time, we are entering into the same exact position just with a different range. We're rebalancing. So when we look at these benchmarks, you can see that I'm profiting $592 against holding in the market. What does that mean? That means in this desync Ethereum example, if I were to just go and stick my money into desync and Ethereum at, let's just say a 37-63% ratio, more weighted towards desync, I would have $377 less. If I were to just stick it in those assets, I'd have $88.12. Since I'm in the pool, I have $85.58, but I also have the $631 in overall income that I've generated. So that's a very, very important consideration, because now when we look at it from this perspective, we are no longer benchmarking against if we were to just go dollar in, dollar out, because truth is it's not going to look that pretty. We're benchmarking compared to if we were to hold in the market. It's like when you invest into stocks, let's just say, and you're investing into, say, penny stocks. You're running this opportunity cost of investing in penny stocks versus just going and throwing your money in the S&P 500, right? If the S&P 500 is down, chances are a lot of these penny stocks or these smaller stocks are down as well, because they follow the overall trend of the market, and that's just market risk at the end of the day. That's market fluctuations, that's market volatility. Whereas what smart people that are investing into penny stocks do, they go and they benchmark against the S&P 500 to see how their strategy is outperforming what they would have been doing or what they could have been doing, right? Something that is relatively risk-free. And when I say relatively risk-free, I mean desync and Ethereum just holding those assets, no divergence loss. Liquidity pools have divergence loss, but the pro of the liquidity pools is, in this case, a 182% APR basically, which is why we are benchmarking not against dollar in, dollar out, because the initial strategy would have also had those same exact volatility, right? what we are benchmarking across is holding in the market versus our liquidity strategy. And you can actually see this over time. If we were to hold in the market right here, we would have started off basically even, obviously, but over time there's some divergence at some periods. But for the most part, these assets are very, very correlated, which is why there's usually not that much divergence. And by the way, this position liquidity does not factor in the actual earnings from my position. Do keep that in mind. So that versus hodl number essentially represents our performance compared to holding the market, guys. And by the way, if you guys are looking for some support building out positions like these that profit even during retracements, not necessarily on a dollar in, dollar out basis, because we're going to see that either way, but in terms of just profiting compared to holding the market and profiting against that benchmark, feel free to reach out if you want to. There's a link right below this video. We have a couple support methods that we can help you through, basically. And no pressure there whatsoever. If you guys don't want to do that, it's completely fine. I just ask that you drop a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and let me know what type of content you guys want to see on the channel so I can continue to pump out this great content. But let's dive into this Ondo to Ethereum position over here. You can see my deposits about 12.3K. I'm down about $1,100 from the market declining. Thing is, when we factor in my 456 in earnings, I'm only down 627. Additionally, I have a profit of $235 versus holding in the market. This one's lower risk, so it's doing 100% APR, but 100% APR, that's still pretty damn good. And if we look over here, my benchmark, right? If I held in the market, I'd have 11.5K basically. Since I'm in this liquidity pool, I got 11.258K. Right? But since I'm in the liquidity pool, I also have income, 456 of income, which means I'm profiting $235 against that benchmark. So this is something that we need to just take into account. Let's print our APR right now. In this case, I'm doing 136% APR. Print that right now. Use that income to flywheel our portfolio's growth and to reinvest over time. So that way, when we do go back to our initial entry prices, instead of being just like basic crypto holders and having a break even with our assets, we actually have a profit because we produced income, but we've also compounded a portion of that income, which has allowed us to see not just income as profit, but profit on that income, right? So profit on profit, basically. And that's what the DeFi flywheel is all about. Guys, once again, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and notifications turned on. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. And feel free to reach out if you guys do need some support with your portfolio. Peace out.